Well, class 11, after introduction I am coming back to the diversity, the main topic. The first topic in your class, in the course, is your diversity of the organism in the world. As you know, you have different types of the organism in the world, but they are all not alike. Why they are different? Have you ever thought of it? Very simple example I give you. Is it possible for a fish to live on the land and a camel is living inside the water or on the surface? Not. Why? Why? Anybody can explain it? Because the body structure and the adaptation, there is a diversity, the change, the atmosphere and the environment they are living. Flora, both flora and fauna. Fauna is the plants, flora is the organism, animals, we call it. But in general, we call it organism, that is your flora and fauna. Fauna is your plants and fauna is your animals. As you know, the metabolism of these two is quite different. What do you know about metabolism? Is a different metabolic rate. The chemical reaction going within the body is different in the fish than the organism living on the land. So their body structure is so adapted that they cannot live on the land and cannot live in water accordingly. Understand? So what are they doing? In the beginning, there were two natural classifications. There's two natural classification of this organism. And you know what I'm going to give you, that is the diversity. How do they differ in that one? So to prove this diversity, they have kept different groups. In the beginning, and if you go back to the history, when long back, about 500-600 years back, they put only these two, plants on one side and animals on one side, because they only knew that they are plants and they are animals. But later on, what happened? A two system of classification, five system kingdom of, or two system of classification, two kingdom system of classification. What it is? That is, a plant is one group and animal is. In the plant, again they are further divided, and they after about 100 years after this, they discovered that three kingdom system of your classification. That is, in the plants or in the plantae, they call it as the Monera and Protestia, these two groups, plants and animal. In the plants, they kept these microorganisms, that is your fungi, etc., in one group, and so there are three groups out there in that one. Now, coming back after this further, the Monera, they discussed. In the Protestia, there's some other organism, the advanced organism in the case of the animals. And then they discovered the fourth system kingdom of classification. Finally, the latest is your Bantam one, is in which the five kingdom system of classification. That is, the first group is your algae and fungi, the microbes, the bacteria and microorganisms, including from viruses, bacteria, fungi, etc. Then this what you call is the Monera, then Protestia in the organism of your animal part. And they are further divided into different groups, and then so further diversity, and then they discovered these five different groups were out there. And then after this, the five different groups, the latest classification which I was giving you last time is your general classification of the animal is different and plant is different. That is according to the study that you have to make it out. That is, the plants are divided into three major groups. The first is your cryptogams, second group is your gymnosperm, and the third is most advanced group is your angiosperm. Now what is this cryptogams? Cryptogams includes the three different types of the organism. Again, the cryptogam is further classified into three subdivisions. The only just 2 days back, on last time I gave you that in last Tuesday, that they are further divided into the microorganisms that include the viruses, fungi, and bacteria. Then the second group includes the moss, in which you have the Markensia and the Rixia, they are the common mosses. Then the further is this is the second group, and the third group after the moss is in the second group, that is of the cryptogam, where you have this thalloid-like body, that is just leaflets, and no true roots. The roots are represented by the thread-like structure called the rhizoids, and they show the alternative of generation. Then we come to the still higher cryptogam, is your pteridophyte. They are the most advanced cryptogam. They have well-developed root, stem, branches, and leaf. But the leaves are what? They are compound bifurcated leaves, and they show very common feature like that of the higher. This I am giving you the simple introduction about this, and then we come to the next group is your Gymnosperm, the second group, a well-developed and very large plant. What is gym? Gym means naked. Sperm means seed. The seed is naked. The sperm is the seed, and the gym is the sperm is the seed, and gym is naked. The seed is open, but there is no flower. Roots are very well developed. Leaf system very well developed, but the leaves are bifurcated in the very fine film. The very common example of is your pine tree, in which they are the second group of your plant kingdom, in which the seeds are not protected. The seeds are not protected. Okay. After this, we come to the next group, is the Angiosperm. The most advanced group of the plant is the most advanced group of the plant. Angio means inside the sperm, that is, they are flower-bearing plant. So about 95% of the plants that you have in the world, they are angiosperm. Of course, not even 90% is slightly lower. There is between 85 and 95% of these. Rest of them are cryptogams and the gymno. And one more example that I forgot to give you about the gymnosperm is the cycadale or the cupressus, that is what we call the Devdar trees. They also have the naked seed. And the cryptogams, very well developed root, stem, branching, and well developed conducting system. And they are further classified into dicot and the monocot. Clear? And the little more I'll do it very hurriedly. So any example of it, all flower bearing plant, any flower, say, and they produce the seed. Now what is the seed? That is, they produce fruits, and fruits are enclosing the seed inside. That is, after the flower is turned into the fruit that you will learn next year after the pollination. So this is well protected inside. Then this group is further divided into two subgroups, angiosperm, that is a dicot and the monocot. Dicot, that is, seed has one specified structure called the cotyledon. The one seed containing only one cotyledon is said to be the monocot, and the seed which is containing two is said to be the dicot. But both are very well developed plants out there, and they represent the complete physiology, anatomy, and morphology of the higher plants like angiosperm. And this is all about a very general, simple classification. Next time I will, the same way, I will give you the animal classification, in which you have the two major groups, the vertebrates, and so you do please come prepared with that one. A very simple, which you must have done in the lower classes. It is just, but you have to give the further in two different subgroups of your invertebrate. About 9 groups you have in invertebrates and about 5 groups in the vertebrates. In the same way, they have the lower organism, higher, and they keep on going right up to the mammals, the most advanced of your vertebrate. So in the invertebrate, we have the lower organism. I'll give you start with the differences between these two first, then I will switch over to the different parts of it. This is all for your primary classification or the diversity of the organism. So next time when I come, I'll give you the complete classification, both invertebrates and the vertebrates. That is all.